I'm Dan Rodrigues from Westaco, Texas. I'll be fighting June 14th in Brownsville. I'll be fighting Justin Salinas at Best of the Best 2.
Now, Daniel, it's been about 1.5 years since you've last been in the cage. Can you tell us a little bit what's been keeping you out of action?
Well, my wife and I got pregnant with another baby, and just, priorities at home really kind of kept me focused there, and I needed to give my full attention there at home.
How anxious are you to get back into the cage?
I'm very anxious to get back in the cage. I'm not getting any younger, so I want to make sure that I'm able to do as much as I can while I can do it. And so I've been training really hard, and I just want to see, how far my body can take me.
Tell us a little bit about your fighting style and what you've trained in, what your background training is in.
Well, I've been in wrestling for 16 years. I started wrestling when I was in high school at here Westaco High School. And I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about 9 years. I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. And I've been doing Muay Thai for about 4 years. So I'd like to believe anyway that I'm, pretty well-rounded. I have a, decent base and everything, but of course, we always got to keep training, try to get better in everything.
So if this fight goes to the ground, that you'd feel pretty comfortable? Yeah,
I feel pretty comfortable. Just with the way I train, I feel pretty comfortable just about wherever the fight goes. But I'd have to say that I have more training when it comes to the ground game.
How intense has this training been for this camp?
The training has been very intense. I got a really good group of guys backing me up, and they're always very willing to, punch me in the face. So obviously that's always a good thing, but they're always pushing me. I mean, they don't let me slack at all. So, I've really been pushing my body to the limit.
Let's talk a little bit about where you're training and some of the guys that are preparing you for this upcoming fight.
Well, some of the guys that have been training with me have been training with me since I started Cinco MMA about 3 years ago. And so these guys are pretty well versed, obviously coming from different backgrounds to begin with and other gyms before they started training with me here. I also do as much cross training as possible because there's a lot of talent here in the Valley. So whatever gym basically will open their doors, I'll go over and train with them. I'll train with some gyms in Harlingen, Harlingen Jiu-Jitsu Club, and I've trained out with Paragon in McAllen and Carlos Diego's gym out in Far. But it's really not limited to that. I'm pretty open to training with whoever will train with me. I train with Miguel Tinajero, I'm sorry, from the McAllen Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy. So basically, Gracie Baja also. I mean, just whoever will open their doors for me, I'll go and train with them.
And with training with so many different guys, how does that help your style, you think?
Well, it helps tremendously because, obviously I train a lot here with my own guys at the gym, but everybody has their own methods. Everybody has their own way of doing things. So it's always a different obstacle to overcome. So it really broadens, even though, there's a ground game, there's always different aspects to it. Some are really good from their guard, some are really good on top, and you have to overcome those things, and some people are really good at boxing, and some people are really good with kicking, their kicks. So, I mean, it's a tremendous advantage that, I can do something like that.
Take us through your day from morning to the end of the day.
Every day, I wake up, I teach middle school math here in Mercedes, the next town over. And so I wake up and I get my daughters ready, and we take them to school, and I go to work. I get out roughly about 4, and from there I pretty much head straight over to the gym, and we start training. We do our jiu-jitsu, we do our groundwork. Depending on what day it is, I'll get some wrestling in, and then depending on what day it is, I'll either do a lot of striking, a lot of Muay Thai, or just work all around in the MMA. And then from here, I'll leave. I'll go back home, spend as much time with my girls as possible before they go to bed, and then I get another workout in at home.
And what do you know about your opponent, Justin Salinas?
I know he's from San Antonio. His record's 1-2. He had a fight on YouTube, so he looks like, it wasn't that long. I think he was able to finish his opponent in the second round, and so he looked very well-rounded. He had some good striking, and he displayed some good skills off his back. So he looks like he's going to be well-rounded and a tough opponent.
Was there anything that you saw in that fight that maybe helped you?
I can't say that there was, but most likely because I don't expect that my opponent won't be ready. I expect that they're training hard and that they're going to be as well-rounded as possible, because there's no way you can't be in MMA. Nowadays, the quality and the level of people you're fighting is so high that it's hard for somebody to be good at just one thing and do well in the sport. So I just kind of watched the video just kind of with an open mind, but he did very well in it, so it was hard. I know it's just one fight, so it's hard to kind of base what can be done off of just that.
What are your goals for the sport of MMA?
I just want to really try to get as far as I can. A lot of people, I think, try to go for belts, so they can say that they're a champion and whatnot, which is good, obviously. But for me, I want a belt because with the belt comes better opponents, and that's what I want. I want to be beating guys that are. I want my opponents to be worthy opponents, and so because I want to test myself, and I want to see how far I can get. I don't focus on my opponent or my opponents, but rather myself and testing myself.
Do you have someone that you look up to or has influenced you? Do you have a hero, and why?
My hero is my family, my 2 daughters and my wife. I've thought about that in some depth for a long time. And a hero is somebody who saves you. And first and foremost, God. God saves me. He's my savior. But when I try to focus on something like that, maybe a relative or whatnot, when I'm down or I need to be saved, man, I think of my daughters and my wife, and that gets me to where I need to be, man. It gets me focused. And so if I had to say who my hero was, it'd be them. It'd be them 3.
Who do you think you've been a hero to?
I think my kids, for sure. I'm a daddy, so I think when I was a kid, I would have thought the same way. So I think that that my little girls probably look at me as probably a Superman.
And going back to the fight, any predictions for this fight? And what do you think? If you had the opportunity to meet with your opponent, what do you think you'd say to him?
Usually I like to say good luck, but I can't really wish him that. I just hope it's injury-free, and I hope that he's been training hard, because I have. And that as far as predictions, I don't know. I can't make any predictions. I'm just gonna fight hard. That's all I can do, and hopefully my best day will beat his best day, or my worst day rather can beat his best day. Because I don't hope that it's an easy fight. I just hope that I can fight hard the whole time.